Happy Wednesday. Thursday when you're hearing this, or Friday.
It's hump day.
Hump day in Los Angeles.
The weather has turned inexplicably chilly. There was a thunderstorm yesterday.
I know, I heard the clap. I was at a coffee shop, and I thought it was like a truck dropping something. And then I realized, no, it's thunder.
I was really confused at first as well. And then
We don't really get thunder.
we never get any sort of major
Lightning.
weather deviations, and certainly not a thunder and lightning
No.
storm. But it was exciting. For a brief moment, there was something to be excited about.
And then it was just gloom.
Yeah, but you know me, I like the gloom.
You're a chill. You like to.
I like a little bit of San Francisco weather.
You're very SF.
Mm-hmm.
Not SF in practice.
In my weather preferences.
And your music.
And some of my music, yeah.
Your spirit is an SF, but practically, no.
My spirit's always been in the hate.
You are a hate girl.
Hate Ashbury for life.
But you, in your tethered reality, you're LA only, not
Yeah.
SF.
First and foremost, I think we really need to discuss the movie of the century.
The century. Bring her back.
I saw it on Monday night. You saw it last night. Okay, spoilers ahead, by the way.
Spoilers.
If you haven't seen it, see it.
See it. See it in theater. Support theater.
See it in theaters. It's fucking insane. Okay, spoiler time.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
So
It's the twin brothers who directed Talk to Me. So it's their sophomore movie.
it's some fucking crazy ass Australians making one of the craziest movies I've ever seen.
There's necromancy. There's child abuse.
There's child abuse, necromancy, foster parents
Dead
abusing, dead kids, desecrating corpses,
People vomiting
Eating-
blood
cannibalism.
essence into each other's mouths.
self-harm.
A woman named Wendy in a green Prius.
She was driving a brat green car.
As soon as she knocked on the door, I went, oh no. I go, it's curtains for Wendy.
No,
And-
Wendy, as soon as she even pulled into the driveway, was like, it's over for you, doll.
But she made a valiant attempt.
She did.
I liked when she goes, let's go.
I was really uncomfortable, but in a great way.
Is Sally Hawkins like one of the greatest actresses of all time?
Yes.
She's unbelievable.
But I think she's also a little loony. I think
I was reading her wiki.
she's like in and out of the insane asylum.
She's the child of two prominent figures in England.
Love that.
She's definitely she's a sickly child. She has lupus. I think she's dyslexic. She has a lot of things. And
She has struggles, but her struggles are making her great.
the struggles have made her an incredible performer. And she was so good in this movie that it was almost like I almost couldn't even look at her after when I was Googling photos of her.
So basically, the movie is like these two kids. Their dad dies unexpectedly. Mom is like not in the picture. She's gone. And they get placed in the foster care system for 3 months before the older brother turns 18. And then he's going to apply for full-time custody of his little sister who's blind. And so he feels like he is her protector and he has to take care of her. And they don't want to go to the foster home, but they have to because they're minors. And they go to the foster home. It's Sally Hawkins' foster house of hell. And she
The
is
house is kind of chic, honestly.
it's kind of chic, but it's in disarray. And you're just from the jump, the moment they said she's your new foster parent, I said, uh-oh.
It's a kooky house. It's in the Australian.
It's in South Australia.
It's deep in the woods. It's very Seattle weather. It feels like.
It's winter.
Oh right, okay. And she has another child. Her daughter, who was also blind, passed, and she has another child named Ollie, who's
unwell.
allegedly the little brother of her said dead daughter, and things are not going well for Ollie.
Ollie was no, Ollie was another foster child, she said.
Oh, I thought Ollie was.
No, he was the other foster child. She was like, we took him in. I took him in. His parents also died. He's like really fucked up about it. So he doesn't really speak. And I like lock him in his room.
Nice.
Because when he gets out, he like goes straight for the cat and is like trying to strangle it or eat it. And so everyone's agreed that like Ollie's a bit of a kooky boy, but it's
Ollie's
just better.
sundowns.
It's better if you just like lock Ollie in his room.
Yeah, and so from the jump, she's way more focused on being nice to the sister than the older brother, and she's sort of like alienating him immediately.
Yeah, and she's like psychologically torturing him, and you've come to find out that she's like, her daughter died in a tragic drowning accident, and she's trying to do like some sort of, I'd say, satanic ritual.
Oh, for sure, satanic.
Using Ollie as kind of like a bridge to bring her dead daughter back to life and like bring the dead daughter's spirit into the blind girl that she's now the foster parent of.
Basically, Ollie has been possessed by like a hellish like escort from this earth and beyond.
A hungry demon.
A demon child that she refers to as an angel who is like eats the cadaver of the daughter of the spell is someone gets possessed by a demon, they eat the cadaver
of the dead person who you want to bring back,
and then they kill they have someone sacrifice themselves and die in the same manner that person died in. Then after this demon is good and full of your spiritual and physical essence, they vomit it into the new person.
They vomit it into the new dead person's mouth, and then that dead person comes alive and then has successfully been brought back, and they are your loved one, just in like a separate body.
It's very simple. She's also using like a snuff film from like Russia, and it's literally, that scares me so much. Those kind of like creepypasta, like Reddit kind of deep dark web shit like that fills very red rooms, and it scares me. It's a little Ring.
She went on the internet and like she got up to no good on the internet and found a VHS tape. And when you're in a place of finding a VHS on the internet, you've crossed over.
When you're bartering on the dark web for a VHS from like some satanic ceremony that took place in like Romania, you are in grief.
You've lost the plot officially.
And she's a counselor, so she's very good at.
She's like a very amazing counselor for 20 years, lost her daughter, went full psychotic foster parent. You find out that Ollie has been like kidnapped, essentially. She just nabbed him off the street, possessed him with this hungry demon, and she has like a white circle around her house that if Ollie crosses the line, he like regurgitates like the demon inside.
Yeah, the demon is expelled.
But it's painful for Ollie.
Poor Ollie.
Ollie is going the fuck through it.
Ollie's like a mute king, and he's
silent but deadly.
Essentially trying to warn the brother at some points, or trying to like communicate with him.
He's sweet-natured, just misunderstood.
That's what I walked away being like, I don't think the demon was even that bad.
No, I think it was like pretty cool.
Yeah, the demon.
You know what? It was hard because it wasn't a beautiful demon. I think it could have done a little bit of grooming around its appearance.
Distended stomach.
When it did appear, because the demon, I guess, could appear as, it was like a shapeshifter of sorts. So if Ollie ate like the hair of the kid's dead dads, it would appear as the dead dad to the son.
Yeah, she can use Ollie as like a means to like manipulate and distort reality for people she finds to be like obstacles. So the son is like taken to a place of like hospital at one point. She's basically trying to infer that the son is abusive to the sister, and she needs to get him out of the home and like get him away from her so she can have the blind sister all to herself.
And she can complete the ritual.
To regurge.
And at last live have brought her back.
It's wild. It was like, I liked that their movies so far have always had like this sort of logic. Like there's there's rules to their movie, you know, with Talk to Me and on this. I like that you just believe it. You go with it.
They're not over explaining anything.
No.
They're counting on you to be pretty smart, to use your brain. And I enjoy that. And it's really genuinely very scary.
Yeah, they really trust the viewer, which is not really a thing anymore.
That must also be, I don't know. I like that is a constant in their movies thus far.
No, and I like I didn't need to know the backstory of like how she got the VHS. It's just like you just go with it and you're like, yeah, this thing exists. It's like
she's been in a DIY place of like exorcism and demon play for months.
But I like
by the time you're dropped into the story.
And like in Talk to Me, you're like, okay, this is the reality is that there is a hand that these kids are using to have fun with.
To get high. Could have been me.
Yeah. No, it could. It's like they were both YouTube stars, so they're just really good at finding those like kind of things that we should not be seeing on the internet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like the hand thing felt like an urban legend you'd read on like Reddit.
Yeah, and I just enjoy that they're original ideas and
they feel like they have their own trademark now. You know what I mean? And they're so young.
They're world building.
And I was just very impressed with these. I think they're in their 20s still, which is crazy. And they're just like, they have a style already. They're like auteurs and they're really good. And I love having original horror.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
Probably when she was trying to get him to kiss the dad.
Yeah, that was sick.
I was like, this is fucking... I'm crawling out of my skin. It's also really... The movie also was like funny.
When they're at the funeral and they cut to her, everyone's like wearing black and looking pretty downtrodden. They cut to her and she's in like
she's wearing like this
bright
color
purple cardigan and like a dangly earring with crazy hair
and big sunglasses.
I was like, this lady is fucking starting.
She was giving a little like mini cast of it and Rosemary's Baby. Like just kooky, like eccentric woman.
But with a kindness underneath, like you can tell that she did care and she could connect, but she also was in way too deep and kind of like had to just see this thing through.
She was driven crazy by her grief.
And I
turned her into a monster.
My favorite part was when, so like this lady Wendy is the main person who like places them in the foster care, and the boy goes to Wendy and is like, this shit's really going off the rails, like you need to come investigate, like there's a kid named Ollie and he's stolen and he's like a demon, please help us. And so they go to her house and Wendy's like, hey, I have to because of these allegations.
They're like old friends.
Yeah, they go way back. And she's like, I love you so much, but because of the allegations, I have to like make sure everything's cool here.
Sorry I interrupted your shower.
Yeah.
Queen.
And they go all around the house and you're just waiting for like something horrible to happen because Ollie's like gone fucking rogue at this point. He's like eating kitchen counters. Like he's fucking no holds barred.
He's eating the chickens. He's probably eating the cat. He's
eating everything. He ate the cat's tail earlier. Like Ollie is on the loose. And I was like, Wendy's going to get eaten by Ollie. Like something bad's going to happen. And you think that what's her face, Laura, has gotten away with the tour, like tricking Wendy. And then Wendy notices that Laura's bleeding. And she's like, you're bleeding. Like, what's wrong? And like, you know, when someone is just like randomly bleeding and you're like, you're really not okay.
Yeah. Wendy's like, I'm going to go now, sis.
She's like, we like something is weird, but what's happening? And Laura in that moment, the way she turns and is like trying to convince her to stay and that she's like,
I've figured this thing out.
I've figured it out. And it's almost, I have chills even thinking about it.
When
her
she's
going, like,
listen.
She's like, it's real. It's real. And I was like, oh my God, it is real. And I went in that moment from root. I was like, this woman must be stopped. we need her arrested. She belongs in jail for life. I switched over and I said, let's bring her the fuck back. Let's fucking go. I was like, I want to see this entire thing play out. Like, she's really, you know what? She's dedicated to her craft. She's really like bootstrapped herself as like a single mom of a dead child and has looked into the VHS. She's gone so far. Let's see this thing fucking through.
When she's going, listen, 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 you know, and
Oh,
it's
I was
just
hooked.
But poor Wendy, I was like, my girl is about to get blown to smithereens in some way.
She died probably the best way that you could die in that scenario.
Yeah, she didn't get eaten. She just got ran the fuck over.
Yeah.
But I was happy in that moment that the son, finally someone believed him. And then I also loved when she was trying to get him angry and he like kind of didn't push her that hard and she fell over and went, oh, like true Karen style. It was just so good. It was like very funny, I thought, and a lot of like intentionally.
Yeah. And like campy at
Campy.
parts.
And the sister was a fucking...
She's a phenom.
She's a phenom.
Honestly.
She kicked her arse, as they say.
Ollie deserves an award nomination. That kid was scary as fuck.
His eyes.
He was really talented.
Yeah, he's amazing. And then I saw him being interviewed and he's like the cutest, like little
He's a
Australian.
sweetie.
And also that main kid was great.
Everyone was really good.
Channeling.
I'm going to say, though, I didn't really like the ending.
No?
No.
Why?
I wanted, once we had gone so far and like she drowned the son, like I literally was like,
She's going to bring her back.
yeah, but then I thought, oh, because the lore of of how you bring someone back is they have to die in the same way that the like person you're trying to bring back died. So she essentially kind of drowns the son in a puddle after she runs over him with a car. And I was like, oh, she's going to bring her back into him. And that's going to be like the ultimate torture for him because, and I needed someone to be brought back. And then when it didn't happen and it kind of just ended, I was like upset.
I get that. The ending was a little like almost happy.
It was a little too happy for how much devastation had been wrought.
But I was thinking the first movie, Talk to Me, had a really dark ending. I thought like that ending
definitely.
really, that like stuck with me for weeks after. Like it really fucked me up.
Yeah.
And I think maybe they were told, maybe my guess is that they were like, you gotta
It definitely felt like
we gotta have a little bit of
someone said, I felt like there were many endings that were possible, and then whoever decided we need to go like a little happier this time won. But I think that that's the only mistake of the movie. Like truly A+ movie aside from the happy ending, because in that situation there also is no happy ending.
But I liked that the girl fought and was like, she's like formidable and can take care of herself. And I like that just like these random women found her and drove her away. And I like I did like the little throwback to like the plane thing.
What was the plane thing?
Remember when she's at the funeral, he's like, do you hear that plane? That's dad going to heaven.
Oh, I didn't.
So
put that
at the
together.
end she sees a plane taking off in the night and she's
and it's
like
her brother.
yeah, so like I kind of like that. I was like,
But she's now alone in
yeah,
the
but she'll be,
world.
but then you saw her at like, I think they were trying to show us when she goes to her sports league, that
she's
dodgeball,
fierce.
that she's like capable, she's popular, she has like people who care about her, and she's fucking like, she's hard ass. So I think it was showing that like the brother was coddling her a lot, and I think babying her in a way. So I think it was like a way for her to like grow up.
You know what would have been cool?
That
Is if like
yes,
they like she fought. I think you could have still had her fight and live, but then the brother gets brought back.
true.
And
Maybe that was one of the endings.
yeah, I was glad that Ollie is gonna get returned
But
to
I
his
was-
family, but I'm also like, he has a lot of trauma to unpack. I don't know if life's gonna be like a smooth sailing for Ollie.
That was the one thing where I was like, wait, he's alive now? Like I thought the demon had to. I thought I was kind of like that was the one thing that felt a little like too clean for me.
Things were just like few things were wrapped up too nicely, and I was like, if you're really gonna go there, because this was truly one of the most abject horror films I've ever seen, like just devastation after devastation. It reminded me of Martyrs and Hereditary, both of which do not end on a happy note, and I think that was the only
well, you could argue
weakness.
Hereditary ended on a happy note with the family being brought together.
They
at the
were
end.
reunited at
They
the
were
end.
all in the same place.
But maybe if you just what if she had brought back multiples and she just had Ollie barf in everyone's mouth, like, and then she had 3 of her daughters brought back. I'm just saying we never got to bring anyone
just
back.
like spit a little, and then it's like
What
the
if
best
he-
of all worlds.
Well, also Ollie had eaten so many people at that point that like he'd eaten Wendy.
He didn't eat Wendy.
I think he ate some of Wendy.
Oh,
Ollie was on a
I
eating.
thought Wendy was just like
Ollie
fully
was like at an
pulverized.
all-you-can-eat
Well, he was
buffet.
hungry.
He was
She
a
starving
hungry
him.
hippo.
She was starving his ass.
I know, and so I'm just saying
The piss thing.
he had a lot of
Yeah.
he had a lot of different people in that tummy.
The
So
pi-
like,
the piss thing. That was to me the most disturbing thing.
yeah, that was freaky. I think she was drugging him too, because
Yeah,
he was
he had-
always
He
drooling.
was like spittling.
But also, that's like teenagers just drool.
But she was a good therapist when she had them like their backs to each other.
You know what? She was sweet, and at the end, I just was.
She was like, "Let's get fucked up."
I think it's a good sign of like character development when
you like.
you turn and then you root for the villain.
Well, yeah, you're just like this woman is like she was at one point was like a very like compassionate level person, a smart therapist, and she's just it just shows you like grief will just turn anyone, especially when it's someone grieving their child. You become like, I think in a lot of cases you become like a shell of who you were.
I'm gonna bring her back with Tony.
I'd bring Mango back, but then I would have to do it to another dog, and I don't want that.
You just close your eyes. and-
No.
Well, that's why you get like a group of people to help you.
I liked when
She was really solo, so that also was like harder.
I liked when the little sis was like when she was drowning her, and then when she realized that she was still alive, and I was like, this bitch is smart because she went, "Mommy," to try to like fool her for a 2nd. I was like, this girl, she's like
She's cunning.
she's gonna be doing like TED Talks.
She's got a trick up her sleeve. Yeah,
She's
her
gonna be
only
doing,
fucking
like-
choice is to write a book and start the TED Talk circuit.
Yeah.
What is she supposed to do? Just like live in an apart? She's 15 also. She's going back into foster care, by the way.
I liked when she was like, "What are you gonna do to me now?" And she goes, "I'm gonna drown you, love." I'm gonna drown you, love.
When she was in the hospital with the son and she was like, you know, when you found your dad and I killed your father. She killed the dad, I think. She had like the water turn boiling in the shower to boil him to death so that she could take the blind girl.
Oh.
She was doing things. She was up to things.
It was so good though.
Yeah,
And it makes me so excited for weapons.
me too. But I'm not trying to get too excited because that one could kind of go either way.
True. But I like
This one I knew from this. I was like,
I've seen some relentless Aussie horror. That one that you know what I'm
no,
talking
but
about.
I don't like that kind of
No, I
horror.
don't like when it's like home invasion or like a
No,
family
I don't like
being
like real horror that's based in real life.
No, I like
violence.
supernatural, and I
Yeah.
hope that they continue their streak of like possession and
I just want them
demon.
because these I've now listened to a bunch of interviews with them. Last podcast on the left had a really good one.
They came on.
Yeah, they came on.
Are
and
they
it was-
funny?
They're fun. It was just like great
They're
energy,
kinda hot too.
and
They're Greek.
they are doing a documentary next, but then are gonna do. I think they have like a couple more horror movies that they want to do.
They're not allowed to do anything but horror.
No, I know. I'm
need-
like, you're in horror jail
You
with
need-
love and light. It's
you need-
horror only.
We need, as a society, we need these brothers Papadou or whatever. What are they called? I've seen people being like hating on them, and I'm like, you guys,
You're a fucking jealous hater.
you're jealous.
Did anyone leave the theater when you were in there?
No, it was packed though.
People left. People left
That's
like
good.
right. No,
That's
I
like
love
Exorcist.
it. I love it. People left like right at the end. I was like, they're about to bring her back.
I mean, remember when like I remember hearing all the stories of like when The Exorcist came out, people were like being taken out on stretchers because they'd never like that's. I'm sorry, that is a sign of a good horror movie.
One girl left with like maybe 15 minutes to go with her phone flashlight on. She was fighting her
like,
way out of the theater.
She was being brought back.
She had like her purse, a lot of things, and was just trying to get the fuck out of there.
She's like, this happened to me. She'd seen this before.
Maybe she had been brought back.
I mean, I left with like 10 minutes of Mother left.
Damn,
I said I had.
You couldn't handle it.
I was. I don't know what it was. I was just like.
Well, they did kill a baby.
I think it was when the baby got maimed and she's just getting like her like skull dented in. I was like, you know what? I don't want to watch Jennifer Lawrence get like. It's not the same as like her getting beaten in like Winter's Bone, where you were like, she's a survivor. She'll get through this. This was just like,
no,
what?
she was a true victim.
I was like, what the fuck? But then I rewatched it and I liked it.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
But not as great as Bring Him Back.
Well, it's different. They're completely different movies.
I'm gonna drown you now, love.
What are you gonna do to me?
I'm gonna drown you now, love.
Would you bring Mango back in like a dog that looked similar to him or a different dog?
A human.
That is disgusting.
I know. Isn't that so uncanny?
You would like lay in your bed.
Yeah.
That human would be nonverbal.
Oh my god, that's so scary to think.
That's
the most.
terrifying.
That is the most uncanny thing. I've mentioned this before, but I wrote with someone. We were in a writer's room together, and we were all talking about like what's the most like unsettling thing you can think, and she said a pig with their face carved into a human face. And it was like, that is what that reminds me of. Like something just so not right like that.
Sometimes like when I'm about to go to bed, like I'll turn off the lights downstairs and then I go upstairs, but Tony's still like sleeping downstairs. And then once I've done some like bedtime routine stuff and I'm ready for him to join me, I'll be like, I'll call him or like squeak a toy so that he comes running. But sometimes the thought crosses my mind, like what if he like was somehow like you can hear him running up the stairs and it's kind of creepy because the stairs are just
and he has
dark.
like alien claws.
No, but like if he ran up the stairs or like walked up the stairs and then was like human size but a pug.
Or what if you were like in bed and you were like, Tony, and then you looked and in the darkness in the hallway you just see the side of a human instead of Tony, like a man.
Yeah, I would flip out.
Well, there was an urban legend where
that was the one the guy snuck in and would lick her fingers. I would probably bring her back into a chihuahua. Because I wouldn't want to look at a pug and not have it be Tony. I'd want to look at a cute dog that just I knew was Tony, but not exactly him.
You have some time to bring her back. You have some time to think about if you're.
I have to find.
You have a good like.
Can you use a human if it's for a dog? Can you use a human as a bridge?
Yeah, you're gonna have to kidnap someone.
Ollie's future is literally just like
he has no choice but to write a book.
Well,
he's gonna be.
I think that he now needs to just like lease his body out for like demon bridging. He's been through it once.
I think he needs to like turn to hardcore drugs for about 10 years.
I think Ollie's future lays in the needle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna get so much better for Ollie.
He needs to like have a really rough 10 years and then get sober at like 20 and then just like be like a really dedicated child counselor. He should be an actor and then get into drugs again.
And be like back and forth, but then be like Robert Downey Jr. at the end of the day.
Except not like him.
But I mean like the level of success and
sobriety.
fame and like love that people have for RDJ is what I want for Ollie, but not after a significant amount of struggles. Not until he's had a significant amount of struggles.
Oh my God. It was very like metaphor for like child abuse and like, I'd
say not even a metaphor.
No. But like with the supernatural being used as like a, for childhood trauma. But I think, what was that kid, Steven Stainer? Do you remember this story from the 80s? He was like a boy in the milk carton.
Mm-mm.
And he was missing for like 10 years and then got discovered when he was a teenager. And then he was like fucked up Ollie style and like turned to the needle.
Yeah.
And then his brother turned out to be a serial killer. I was like, that is giving.
Girl, investigate the parents. You're going to also, with Love and Light, need to investigate Ollie's parents.
Yeah, where the fuck have they been?
Where are they? You print out a couple flyers and call it a day.
Her house was right off the main road.
I know. I think Ollie's going to have a hard time with his parents after this.
He needs to bring them back into the parents. He's like, you're going to need to like, I'm sorry, I need to possess you with good parents. He needs to find like he needs to interview parents that he likes and then take their bodies away, kill them, and then kill his parents and then put their souls in his parents.
Ollie was also so pretty.
He was gorgeous.
That I thought that we were also going to discover that Ollie was actually like a little girl and she shaved her head.
I actually had that thought too. I was like, is she the daughter somehow?
I just really
there's like big like kind of alien eyes.
Mm-hmm. I just really did not ever know it was going to happen. And then things just fucking started happening. Great movie.
The kid doing also lifting and drinking like creatine. That was so funny. Anyway.
Question. What are Labubus? Labubus have taken over.
Labubus are from China. Mm-hmm. Correct?
They're a toy.
They're like a purse or like a keychain.
They're a purse charm.
It's basically like TikTok Furby. That's my view of it.
Purse charm fever is at an all-time high. And I think this trend...
They're mischievous.
I think what you do is you get one in a box. You don't know what it's going to be. So then you open the box and it's a Labubu. And they have different faces and different vibes.
So you don't get to choose. Labubu
you don't
chooses
choose,
you.
Labubu chooses you.
I'm sorry. This is a curse. This is bring her back.
It is.
I can't look at that.
It's not bring her back.
That's literally, I'm looking at a demon right now and I can't. Mm-hmm. There's something not right. Labubu chooses you. What the fuck is that? I don't like it.
I'd love to get Tony.
Don't get one. No, don't bring it around Tony.
You know what I really want to get Tony? This is a good thing that I'm not like really wealthy, because now that everyone's making purse charms, all the like big fashion houses are making teeny miniatures of purses.
Oh.
And they're like $1,500 each. But all I want in life is to get Tony a purse closet. I just want him to have designer bags.
I know.
Please, what I need, please subscribe to the Patreon, because Tony needs a purse closet. And that's not cheap. It's going to take about, I would say, $40,000 to get the purse closet that I really need for him.
Have you ever seen Matt's little tiny purse? Matt has like a little like, what are the purses that have like basically like a lid, like old fashioned purse that has like, it almost looks like a little like box.
I don't know.
It's like rotund. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like a rotund purse.
A round purse with a lid?
Yeah. He has a mini one.
I've never seen a round purse with a lid.
It's very chic.
Like a pail?
Yeah, like very like that, like a little like
a basket?
Kind of that style, but not a basket. But he has a miniature one that's like this big.
No, I'm telling you, every single time I see a miniature like Prada backpack.
That's what he has that kind of thing. Yes. That, you know what I'm talking about? Like that old school vanity bag.
Good job with the Google on that. Really, like that, you really did that.
Yes.
No, I need, like, Tony needs a mini like Louis Vuitton Speedy. He needs like
what?
For what? For life.
What's he packing in there?
He just can carry one. I would love to do a crossbody look on a walk. I would love to just.
He would immediately be like,
no, I want him to like. I would get it also and just have him fetch with it like a toy, like chew it up. It would feel great.
I didn't realize purse charms were becoming a thing.
Well, you are a man after all,
right?
And you're not like a purse wearing man.
No. It's been a thing.
It's huge
on TikTok.
Everywhere. I have a purse charm in my bag right now.
Oh, right. You've had that for a while, though.
I know, I was ahead of the curve.
So this is now like kind of a fad in the last few years.
Yeah, but now the charms are getting out of control. Like Loewe has charms for $800. You kind of deserve to be
Robbed.
I think just shot at, not killed, and not even hit.
Just a warning shot.
But just like
just like how they shoot at people's feet and they're like, ah, and they run away.
Or just
I
go
get that.
run, and then you have to run zigzag, and a couple bullets fly by your head, but nothing even grazes you.
No, I agree. Or you have the right to remain robbed.
Look, if I don't like rob.
No, I think you deserve to get a snatched.
I don't like a snatch, but I will. If you told me that I would have to get shot at in order to give Tony the purse closet that he
You would
deserved,
do it?
Oh, 100. I'd do it right now.
You want like a purse, like you want like uplighting.
I want like Samantha American Girl dolls open like case, her travel closet,
with little
but
bags
filled with it $40,000 worth of miniature designer purses for my pug Tony. What's it gonna take?
Our listeners have to answer that.
Do you want me to have this? Do you want him to live the rest of his life without it? Doesn't seem fair.
I want him to have it now.
I know. I'd love Mango to have it.
Me too.
See?
I want Mango to have like a lot of things.
What do you want him to have?
Well, I got him one of those I got him a car seat thing, kind of like one, but it's like a leather bucket. And he goes into it.
He
it's
likes
tan
it.
leather.
Does it contain him?
Yeah, and it buckles in and straps in.
Okay.
And he sits in there and he likes it.
I need to get Tony like a straight jacket in the car.
This might be good because it's deep. And he'll just be.
Does it have high walls?
Mm-hmm.
Tony, when he enters the car, I need like
he
the
needs
equivalent of a padded room.
He has high. It's literally a padded room. It's like it's like a tan leather, like almost like car seat.
Okay.
I'll have Simon send you the link, but
I'm curious.
But no, I want Mango to have like. I want Mango to have like a fake town.
Yeah.
That he can do errands in.
You could send him to town when you go to like the Grove. You want him to have the Grove.
I want him to experience what we're experiencing at all times. Minus some things that he's not.
You could send him to a movie. Like when you go see Bring Her Back, you could send him to a movie in his town where he watches like Milo and Otis.
Yeah, or like
Toy Story. House Hunters. Oh yeah.
House Hunters International.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want that.
I would like to get Tony because like whenever I leave for an extended period of time, I'll put on the classical music station, and I would actually love to get him like a
symphony
3-piece orchestra or like a string quartet to just play for him while I'm gone.
Mini?
They could be. I think he'd love if they were real humans.
Well, that's in a few years.
That is.
So that's
after the purse collection.
Yeah,
though.
That's like a big bump in Patreon.
Huge bump.
We will get that.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah. You will have a 3-piece orchestra.
There will be signs when we've reached $1 trillion a year on Patreon. You'll know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do an Architectural Digest tour walkthrough
and
of
Tony's
like, purse closet.
And then randomly there'll be a person being like, and AD will be like, who is that? And you're like, oh, I brought Tony back.
Oh, that's just my like Demon Bridge person for when Tony dies. I just have him on deck.
And they're like, oh, okay.
I go, get back in your room. I do a separate tour of my Demon Bridge's gorgeous bedroom.
Mm-hmm. That's the Demon Bridge. And they're just like, okay. Well, let's get into the other Demon Bridge. I'm Carey.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to
Sexy Unique Podcast.
Valley of the Dolls. Wait, big news. We have been followed by Jesse Lally on Instagram, and we are not following back.
We will edge him into oblivion. Maybe one day we'll follow you.
Yeah, but I appreciate that you saw us for what we are, which is someone that you want to follow and that will not be following you back.
Even if you don't really understand what's going on, you like what you see.
Yeah.
And that much is obvious.
I think he followed us from the clip of us talking about how
saying that gays think he's hot. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he went,
who, me? He needed that. vote of confidence.
Every straight guy, depending on who they are and how comfortable they are,
they just want gays to.
They
think
want
they're
gays
hot.
to hit on them and think they're hot. That's
Even
the way it
if
is.
you hate gay guys and you're a straight man, you still want them to think you're
of course, everyone wants our approval.
hot. How has this show gone so fast so far? Why are we on episode 8? I feel like we're at the halfway mark. I don't feel comfortable with that.
This was my first episode where I went. Gotta say, I went. It was a bit of a snooze for me, and I think it's because, and we know why, because it was focused heavily on Janet. And I think when Janet is the star, which now I'm like, this is Janet's show to lose.
This is Janet's world, and we're all just living in
No,
it.
suddenly I was like, suddenly the show's about Janet and Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is where you lose me. And this is why we need to really fight for our fucking goddamn lives, because the valley needs to be saved.
We can't go down this road.
No, we cannot. I'm like,
This is a crisis.
We cannot go into that dark night. We have to rage against the dying of the light.
Brittany's like getting Cruz ready for the day ahead at the very start of the
Brittany's
episode.
getting cruised.
She
I'm
is
imagining
getting
her
cruised.
Getting like cruised by lesbians.
And Kingsley is there, and she goes, "Kingsley, don't start. I don't need it right now."
I don't need it right now. I need a shot.
I was like, that's so me and Tony.
Jesse is in this episode for a blip.
He's not heavily featured, which was another problem with that episode.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who is heavily featured?
Shishu.
Shishu.
Our girl is having a famous enchiladas chow down at her really nice house.
I said, we have arrived.
We have arrived. She has like a corner lot. I was like, okay.
Scheana's enchiladas have entered the fucking building.
Jared Lips is there.
That's when you know it's a real gathering.
Scheana goes, I'll put them in the oven when everyone's in the pool and then we'll feast.
They go, how do you know when they're ready? And she goes, just when the cheese is like really melty, then you know.
She's like, 20 minutes or so. The cheese will be like really melty then. Lala is pregnant as hell and like fully nonverbal.
Lala's gone to become a silent partner in the show.
Lala was a little Ollie.
Lala is in a place of Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
Brock is speaking to people, and his description underneath his name says Brittany's friend. So
weird.
It's bizarre.
Brock
to
is
go stop gaslighting. Brock's really hot.
He looks so cute.
He looks really good, and he's the supportive man to his queen.
They're all sitting in the backyard, and at one point you just see Scheana look up in the sky really quickly, and she goes, and then looks down. And I was like, that's me.
She's
She saw
constantly
something.
on edge.
She's like, what's that orb? Oh
Is that a drone?
Is that a drone? Oh my God. That's so fucking weird. Remember the wet dog? What's that dog?
What's that dog?
Moondang.
So I guess Zack talked shit on Jared at Brittany's shark party once the cameras went down.
I'm pretty sure he told Jared to kill himself.
Did he?
Because he kept alluding to like, I wasn't like making an actual threat. Like, I think he said something like really like, because Janet was like,
that was not okay.
She's like, I'll never be okay with him after what he said.
Shut the fuck up, Janet.
I
We
think
thought that you were onto something last episode, and then you've flopped once again.
I'm pretty sure Zack vaguely threatened Jared in some ways, and because he kept being like, that's why he was like hyperbole.
He won't even say what he said.
No, I know, and that's why
no one will say what he said. But
that's why I'm like, he said something about like either like
did he say fuck off and die?
Something like that. Something like
just say it. What's the big deal?
Because now like he's probably worried. It's like I don't know, but I think it was he threatened like hyperbolic grievous bodily harm in some way, and he was like, oh my God, he's like, it's hyperbolic. I mean, hyperbole. You know, does anyone not know what that word is? Am I the only one that does? So.
I'd say you've dropped the ball once again, producers, for not capturing this on camera.
I think they did, but I bet this network was like, you can't air this.
I don't think they did, because on Southern Hospitality, they're always referencing things that happen, and they're always on camera.
Right.
Zack is at Doute's house with Doute and Luke. and he's like talking about his big bad thing that he said to Jared.
He's also like Brittany has fully. He's basically been replaced by Jared.
He's like, I've lost Brittany. We used to be best friends. She was the only person I knew when I moved to LA. And now, where is she? She's not in my life.
And Brittany goes, Zach always thinks I take their side over his side.
Apparently, once Zach said,
The
kill
big bad
yourself
thing.
ASAP, Brittany goes, what did you say?
No, I won't tolerate that in my house. This is a shark party. And I won't be threatened. I've been threatened enough. You get out of my house right now. Do you want and come, Jared, while you're at it, come take a shot with me.
Jared, don't kill yourself. Just take a shot. Don't kill yourself yet. Take a shot first.
Take some vodka.
Take a vodka shot.
Let's take some vodka shots.
You know, when anyone tells me I need to kill myself, I just take a shot.
I take a shot and I say rotten hell. She's threatened. She's cursed.
I'm like, truly, what did he say?
He probably said something really bad. Jared Lips seems harmless.
Janet also, but Janet is such like a concern troller that I believe that Zach could have been like, I fucking hate you. And Janet was like, when you said that, it was like hearing violence come alive.
True.
So Doute has advised Zach to just like bring it up to Brittany in conversation.
Doute is off her fucking rocker right now. I don't know what's going on. She's not really giving for me right now, and it's really upsetting me.
Working overtime behind the scenes, planting seeds, and then watching them unfold. And
Maybe.
It's causing mild chaos, but not the kind of true Doute chaos I crave.
And she is so in lockstep with Nia and Danny. I'm like, what is this pact with Satan she's made?
They're the only ones who will accept her. Everyone else hates her ass.
That's true. And Scheana goes, oh, the cheese is super melted. And at one point, Jared's like, I've never had Scheana's enchiladas. And then Scheana goes, right, that's right, because he was vegan. Last time I was making them, he was vegan. So, like, he didn't even have them.
I'm desperate to try Scheana's enchiladas.
Her famous enchiladas.
Posted the
recipe
online somewhere.
Is Miss Lips going to become more of a presence, or is he sort of just, because now I want gay versus gay.
I know, I was excited at the prospect of gay on gay violence, but they are really hiding Miss Lips from, because that scene wasn't even featured on the regular episode. That was like an extra footage.
Lips is like fully, I feel like Lips is like Zach's tether, because they're both gays that only are friends with like straight women, and only one can live.
We need them to go full celebrity deathmatch on each other.
God, I miss that show.
Janet has had time to really think about the horrific wedding ring rumors.
Jasmine.
And she spoke to her mom about it, and her mom got really upset by it. So now Janet's upset again. And
she's talked about her mom a few times. I'm like, I don't give a shit about your mom. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Shut the fuck up about
You're not
your
going to
mom.
show her? If you're not going to show the parent or like the person you're talking about, I don't want to hear about it.
If it's not Sherry, I don't care.
Yeah, or like if your mom wants to come into the mix, then I'll be like, okay.
But so she's mad because Jasmine, I guess, made up the rumor. And then Scheana goes, yeah, Jasmine was invited here, but she wouldn't come today because of you. And then Janet gets really riled up at the kitchen island, which I understand. It's easy to do. But she talks a lot of shit and talks like a big game and makes a lot of declarative statements that she later can't back up at all. And I was like, you're a real flop for that. You can talk shit when no one else is around, but when it comes to the actual confrontation, you go full victim runaway mode.
It's classic.
Yeah, but not
on this show.
On reality TV.
No, but I'm like, she is like, I mean, Jasmine calls her a Karen later, and I'm like, she kind of is.
Did she say Karen energy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she said parent energy.
No, she said she called her a Karen.
No.
Wait, I was also confused. So is it Doute that told Jasmine, or is it like, who is the real?
Doute said on camera that she heard this rumor from Zach and Jasmine, But later by the fireplace, after things erupt, Doute goes, Jasmine didn't even tell me. She's not the one, by the way. She didn't tell me, P.S. And I was like, Doutes, shut up.
I know. They're not clear about the...
It's lacking a lot of context and
organization, honestly.
I know. And I really say do better all around.
Yeah.
Producers, cast.
Look, I'm going to give this season grace because it's been so good so far. I feel like every season has one kind of slumpy episode. So like, let's just hope this is the only one. Because
let's hope that Jax crawls out of rehab soon.
I mean, I was going to say this later, but like, there's a part of me that really doesn't think Jax is actually at rehab.
No, I think he's like...
That white wall, I'm like, let's turn the camera
I think he's in like a Starbucks bathroom.
No, I know. I'm like, this man is... Sorry to this man, but I don't think he's at rehab.
He got dropped off on a corner in the valley by Jason and has been roaming to various bus stops for weeks then breaking into the Starbucks bathroom after getting a code and then filming his rehab confessionals and FaceTiming.
It's noticed that we've never... And also, I'm sorry, but like, I always thought rehab, you get your phone taken away.
Some rehabs, I guess, just love to let you have a phone.
I guess. He's just like constantly...
This rehab that he's at also is like...
He's rolling calls.
No, he's constantly on the horn. He's like conducting business.
No, he's fully like... He's like an agent standing at like an upright desk.
He
like
has a satellite
desk.
office.
Yeah, just like yelling at people on a Bluetooth.
We have a big beach day.
It's beach day. It's a cold beach day.
I was like, this is sad that you're making these people do this.
It felt like a beach day that like a murder happens. Do you know what I mean?
Because it's wintry.
Yeah, it's like winter LA beach is creepy.
Janet and Jason arrive and they do some metal detector comedy, a bit that really doesn't land, but they try their damnedest. And then mercifully, Brittany shows up to relieve them of their...
She goes, oh, what's that thing you got? What's that contraption? I've never seen anything like that.
What is that? Are you walking the dog?
Is that a robot dog? Is that one of those dogs?
She goes, we got chips and snacks and s'mores. She goes, what's that you got? And then Janet goes, it's a metal detector. She goes, have you found anything yet? And she goes, just a bottle cap, but I'm keeping it. And she goes, oh, that is so funny.
She does the laugh.
She treats Janet like Janet is the funniest person she's ever met.
Janet has something on her. What does she know? That Brittany has a gun to her head and is like, this is the be all end all of like comedic queens.
In Brittany's mind, Janet is like Joan Rivers.
I think Janet is like probably smarter than most of these people. So I think that to someone like Brittany is like,
wow.
She's really funny.
She's really smart. She
witty.
has a metal detector.
She's got metal detectors. Oh my God. At Pride, I saw like a robot dog walking around and it freaked me out.
They're among us.
They are. But she was like, I think she just thinks Janet is like erudite.
Janet has like a certain power and sway over these people. She's doing like Kitchen Island black magic. I'm convinced.
Kitchen Island. What do you mean?
She's summoning.
She's bringing her back?
She is summoning people around the Kitchen Island to like woo them with tales of anger and revenge and sadness. And I was
Is this a thing?
No, it's a thing for Janet that I'm coming to this realization right now.
Oh, that's just like Janet really creeped me out.
She spins these like Kitchen Island yarns.
She does.
Remember when we saw her and she was making that hot dog macaroni and cheese?
Yeah, and
she spent at the Kitchen Island once again.
At enchiladas, she was at the Kitchen Island.
I know.
You're so right.
And she gets people whipped up into her world of witchcraft.
It's like she's a suburban witch.
But then once you separate her from the island, she loses all power.
The island is where her source comes from. Oh my God, I have like the chills.
I know.
It's giving me like Hereditary with the grandma throwing coins in the air.
The Kitchen Island.
Suburban witchcraft.
That's Janet's vibe.
That's Janet. You're so right.
In her
Kitchen
vest.
Island witchcraft.
And we know that the Kitchen Island is a powerful entity.
A lot of things happen at a Kitchen Island.
I know. Remember Renee, Mob Wives, was always like hanging onto the kitchen island. She too was like wrapped up in the kitchen island, but in a totally different way.
I had a kitchen island at my house growing up, and things happened.
I yearn for a kitchen island.
Now it's a luxury I'll never know again.
Kitchen island, I think, comes after Tony's purse collection.
Gotta get the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the beach. Then Michelle and Aaron come, and Aaron's wearing he's wearing like a Labubu on his head.
My question is,
does he speak?
Is Aaron tripping?
He seems high.
He's on LSD.
The two of them are microdosed when they show
He's
up.
macrodosed. He's like this.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're both fucking high. I think Michelle's
Michelle's nonverbal.
She's like, she goes, "It is super windy." And that's the only thing she says the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Creep me out. Pisses me off.
They're fucking creepy.
It is really creepy. And he has that weird, like, I hate when a guy's like silly and has like a furry, there's like kind of.
I said, he's tripping balls right now. I know it.
This goddamn man is tripping balls.
I said, his face is melting.
But you know that like cutesy thing? What are those like animal towel or like furry?
It would kind of be cool to just like trip balls with a friend around this group of people. Like just kind of drop into like the combo where you don't have to be part of it. You don't have to weigh in.
I would need someone to ground me.
Well, yeah, that's why you were with your friend.
But they'd be high too.
You ground each other.
True.
You grip. It would be hands gripping and just like face melting as these people do their thing.
Doute arrives with Jasmine in tow, of course.
Doute, I believe, has spent the entire car ride. Doute won't do any of her dirty work on camera. She's doing it in the car ride.
She's Mother Gaia now.
She's doing car witchcraft.
Yeah, she's Gaia right now, like trying to get pregnant, trying to be like peace and love gypsy. But she's secretly
when the cameras aren't rolling,
weapons.
She's full weapons vibes.
Yeah.
She spent, that car ride took an hour and a half, and the whole time she was like, yeah, like fucking Janet is a Karen, like she hates you, Jasmine, and like why would she ever say that you said this? Like what's that about?
I think Jasmine, I find her to be like refreshingly honest for this group, and I don't think that she is like just making shit up for no reason.
But I also don't understand her point of view and why she acted the way she acted in this altercation.
True.
She comes in so hot that it's like, what are you so pissed about?
I love that Scheana immediately blabbed to Doute that Janet was talking shit about Doute at the enchiladas party. Sorry, Janet. OGs only.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. We OGs stick together, right, girls? And like no one says anything.
Doute is explaining how she's like, I have no sense of direction. Like, I don't pay attention when I walk. So, like, before I used to valet all the time at the Grove, I would just, like, lose my car every time I went there.
Which...
I was like, girl, valet at the Grove costs $30 a pop.
I know, but
you gotta give that up.
I will say I have been confused. The Grove parking lot is, like...
It's easy to get confused.
It's a vortex.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, the... valet?
I was like,
who has
before you started to valet every time?
She's rich.
I know. I was like, honey,
she's rich.
get better furniture.
Yeah.
You know, that $30 you spent on valet, you could upgrade your pool setting. That's all I'm saying.
Brittany has a crush.
Brittany's doing hot date magic. Everyone's doing a little bit of voodoo in this episode.
She goes, I can't remember the last time I had butterflies like this. He gives me butterflies.
I have a hot date after this. Why do you think I'm so dressed up?
I have a hot date. We're going to meet about 10 p.m. and just hang out, drink some shots.
He's going to come to my rental.
He's going to come to my rental and he's going to fuck my ass.
I know. I was like, Brittany is doing this on camera to drive Jax
good
insane. Hopefully it'll work.
Scheana, they do like, what's the craziest thing, like game? And then
Brittany goes, let's play truth or dare. And Doute and Jasmine walk away. They're in full folie à deux because Jasmine comes in. She goes, I'm not going to fucking apologize to Janet. I was like, okay, let's pump the brakes for a second.
Yeah, they're like, we're not playing truth or dare with these people.
If you did, in fact, say to anyone, Like if you were the genesis of this rumor, or it's like something that you heard and repeated, all you have to do is just say like, yeah, I heard it and repeated it. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And to just come in hot like that and say nothing is like Doute's been in your ear. And then when they both got up and stormed away from Truth or Dare, Jasmine goes, this is fucking bullshit. I was like, wait, what? And Doute goes,
Okay.
I know, come over here.
I agree. I think Doute is like, you know, parcel tonguing in her ear, snake tongue.
Doute is whispering.
But I also think that Janet's probably just had it up to here with Janet.
I get that.
Jasmine's just like, I feel like sometimes you just get sick of someone and you just like everything they do is like, you're like, this is an affront to my humanity.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's reached that breaking point and Janet is just like her scourge.
But like, let's lay the storytelling groundwork.
I know, but I
Make
think
me see it. Make me see what you see.
I'm telling you, these people probably like told each other like, don't bring this up. So Janet's trying to like honor something.
I just don't like this. I think it also is just bad producing.
No, I agree. They talk about, Scheana talks about, they're like, how big is Brock's dick? And
Janet
Scheana goes,
says to Scheana.
And Scheana goes, well, it's more about the girth. The girth is more important than anything, and he's got that down. And the first time we ever like did it up my ass, I got hemorrhoids. I was like, damn.
And she goes, then when I had summer, I got them again. And I was like, this isn't my first rodeo. Scheana is a fucking anal queen,
She's an anal queen.
of
She
Marina
talked
Del
about
Rey.
that, right?
I know, yeah. She talks a lot about anal. I love that.
I know.
She's a gay icon.
She is. And Brock's just like, oh,
She's
dude,
like,
talk
when he
about
stuck
it.
his Coke can, Aussie, or maybe he's New Zealand.
He
his
stuck
Coke can,
his Foster's,
kiwi dick.
his kiwi up my arsehole, and I laid down on it like a fire hydrant, like a fucking cone, traffic cone.
I squatted down.
I squatted down and I took the entire kiwi cock up me hole, and I got hemorrhoids, but it was worth the ride.
And then I gave birth and got them again.
And I thought,
said, round two. Here we go.
Round 2.
Here we fucking go.
And everyone's like, oh. And they're
Janet
like,
goes, up the butt. I hate when people say up the butt.
who says that?
Janet, of course.
Yeah, and they're like, what's the craziest sex you've had? She's like, missionary with Jason in our own bed. I'm like, shut up.
And she goes, Michelle, have you ever taken it up the butt? And Michelle goes, Janet.
She's like, Janet.
She goes, Janet, no.
Janet, what are you talking about?
And just powers down.
Then Aaron's like,
Aaron's like,
the beach was giving me the shards. Do you remember when they're on the beach and there's like cultists running around?
I wish it was more glamorous of a beach. I wish everyone.
Where were they?
They were in
Malibu.
Manhattan Beach, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, because you can do bonfires in that beach.
the winter light. I was like, oh.
It was like, this is hell.
She goes, yeah, I fucking squatted down on his fucking traffic cone cock and I took it up my asshole. What do you want to hear about it, Janet?
Scheana and Brock should start an OnlyFans.
Maybe so.
I'd pay.
Me too. Let's tell them to. Next time we see
This
them.
is a great idea, and I come up with great ideas for these people all the time, and this is an A+.
Scheana would never. Brock might.
You don't think they would?
I don't think Scheana would, but I think Brock would.
I don't know. I think it's something to consider.
I'd love it, but I feel like Sheena's too like wound up right now.
Mm-hmm. Doute
Brittany-
and Jasmine are having like lesbian folie à deux, muttering to each other while this is all happening.
Off screen, you just hear Brittany going. Can you imagine being high on shrooms and hearing?
Aaron, that's why his face is like this.
Wearing Birkenstocks.
He's never been higher in his
No,
life.
he's high as a fucking
He's reminding
kite.
me when I was dosed, but with mushrooms that I thought was like a light dose. And it was like a true hero's dose of mushrooms. And I was on the beach with people. And I started to hear like all these conversations were around me, but no one was speaking any language. It all was just gibberish. Everyone was going... Every conversation sounded like that, and I went,
You were like, I don't speak. You were like in Tower of Babel.
No, everyone went full Babylon, and that's what Aaron's experiencing right now. Brittany, and then everyone's well.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I like him. Yeah. Her laugh goes into backwards. Yeah. And Aaron's just like.
Aaron's like.
And Michelle's like, Janet, stop it, please.
She's like, are you okay?
Why are you so upset?
Aaron, I believe it too, because I was like, his honey, like he's putting acid in the honey.
Yeah, he's like operating on another level.
He's Timothy Leary out here. Janet and Jason are also acting fucking insane.
They're both folie à deux.
They are. They're sitting in the corner whispering to each other. Jason goes, what do you want to do? Do you want to ask her to talk, or do you want to just like sit here some more?
Are they all high?
They might have gotten dosed. And then Janet goes,
this is climax.
This is climax. Janet goes, I don't know. Just give it 1 second. Just don't ask yet. I was like, do you know that you're on a fucking show? This is your job to have a conversation with people that you have problems with. Like, what is your deal?
Jason's like, Jasmine, can we go talk over there for a second? And she's like, sure, let's go.
Janet goes, okay, ask her now. And he goes, yeah, Jasmine, can you come have a talk real quick?
She's like, yeah, let's go. And then Jasmine follows, or Janet follows, and the minute Janet opens her mouth, she goes, shut the fuck up, Janet. Shut the fuck up.
But
Which
Jasmine,
I was like,
why are you screaming?
I'm like, I don't know what it is. Like, I just like, there's gotta be a good reason. I feel like Jasmine wouldn't be pushed to this point unless like something was pushing her to this point.
That's true. But I'm also just like, this has happened before with Jasmine where she's like really lit about something, like the Brittany and Nia stuff. Like she seemed like inexplicably like lit about
what was that stuff?
When Brittany was like mad that Nia wasn't talking about how drunk Danny was. And later we got the context of it. But like,
I think she's just maybe she over identifies.
You have to just like lead.
And you're not going to do yourself any favors with Janet. You're going to make Janet, you're giving Janet what she wants.
I was like, you're letting Janet win right now because Janet's like Janet is strategically dressed in like a fuzzy, like little girl's like zip up hoodie.
And the minute she
like a fleece. And the second you open your mouth to talk to her, she goes,
yeah, the minute Jasmine like kind of pops off on her, Janet immediately like retreats behind Jason and goes, oh my God, like, I just can't.
She goes, let's go.
Let's go. It's like, no, you just gave her what she wanted.
I know you have to be like more measured. You have to fight the kitchen island witch with her own witchcraft.
Yeah.
You have to meet her at her exact level and you can't escalate because then you look like the crazy person.
She needs to use her lesbian witchcraft.
I know.
Which she needs
You're
to
just
harness.
born with it. Janet keeps going, let's go. I hate when people initiate a conversation, they don't like the way it goes and they go, I'm leaving.
Jason's so devastated by the schism between him and Janet. And I wrote, it must be a pain.
Him and Jasmine.
Sorry, when him and Jasmine have like a friendship breakup in this moment, I was like, nothing sadder than when a straight man mourns the loss of his lesbian friendship in a not creepy way.
Jasmine goes, you've been a shit friend. You're a vibe killer. You give Karen energy. I love vibe killer.
She is the vibe Death Star.
She is.
Vibe killer is so funny.
And she goes,
oh my God. And then she immediately takes her shawl out for a second and goes, yeah, and does like kitchen island.
She summons the kitchen island.
Oh, let's go.
She summons the kitchen island spell over Jason. Yeah. She goes, let's go. And he goes, we're going. Have fun talking shit about everyone. And I was your friend. And Jasmine's like, fuck you. Everyone hates you. Get out of here. And they walk off and Jasmine goes back to muttering. She goes, well, she showed us exactly who she is. I was like, you two are in straight psychosis
Doute?
Right now. No, Janet was muttering about Jasmine.
And then they're walking off the beach with the metal detector and she goes, she showed us exactly who she is. And Jason's like, ooh.
And Doute's sitting there and she goes, she's not the one who told me, by the way. I was like, Doute, you better step your fucking pussy up.
I know.
Because you have some work to do.
And Brittany goes, there goes my beach day.
Well, that was nice while it lasted.
Well, that was it's getting a little cold. I got to go on my hot date.
It cuts to Scheana and Lala, and they're both confused too. I was like, I'm with you guys. I have no idea what's happening and why everyone's so like.
And then it
keyed
cuts
up.
back to Aaron and Michelle, and they're both like this.
Aaron's like,
They're literally petrified. They're so high that they've turned to stone.
Doute, Britt, Nia, and Zack go to lunch.
Zack and Doute are walking through NoHo, and she goes, welcome to the NoHo Arts District. There is a thriving art scene.
No, I know, but she's just like the fucking queen
The
of NoHo.
queen of NoHo. And then they walk in and she goes to the coffee shop, like / restaurant. She goes, God, it smells like vanilla latte and deliciousness in here.
Oh, God.
I went,
Doute.
So Brittany met this guy at Jax's Tavern, which I just think is, talk about delicious.
It's absolutely
Absolutely delicious. But also, I looked up the guy.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Is it the guy she's dating now?
I don't know if they're still dating. It was from last year, but his name is Tanner, and he was on The Bachelor, I think. He was really hot. He's a trainer.
They go, Brittany, how was your date? And she goes, woohoo! He's so great. Oh my God, I love him. We had so much fun. You know what? He does just nice things like send me good morning texts, things like Jax never did. So like getting just a text in the morning that says good morning is like, oh my God, this is life changing. I was like, the bar is so fucking low.
So last year she was a room. I think this is last year. So it was this guy, Tanner.
Okay.
Tanner
He looks young.
Courtad, who I believe was on The Bachelor. He's a sexy man. And then now she's
How old is he? Like 22?
Brittany
should just date like a young guy.
Yeah. He's on The Bachelorette. Sorry, The Bachelorette. I was like, The Bachelor. He's not trying to date the guy. And now her new boyfriend is someone named, allegedly, Will Gittins.
Is he a musician?
Let's say.
I love a good morning text.
He's a singer.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's hot.
He's really hot.
All right. Ms. Britt.
Brittany is like pulling
Power
tail.
pussy.
Yeah, she really.
She goes, I'm not used to someone checking on me, wishing me good morning, saying hi. Oh, I'm just butterflies in my stomach. I just love it.
It's just so nice waking up and having a text that says good morning. Text is that says good morning. Howdy.
Also,
how's your day?
Also, before they sit down, Zach goes, wow, welcome to the only restaurant in LA who has a good concept of how to deal with sun and shade. And I was like,
is he a vampire?
Maybe.
He's so like
all the old
hates the
pictures of him and
sun.
Brittany are him like those.
Who's Brittany's my oldest friend. It cuts to a montage and he's like,
He probably came out to her.
there's something.
He's attached.
Doute is cackling about Janet and Jason. Every time they talk about it, she just goes. She loves to talk shit about them.
Mm-hmm. Brittany, when talking about her boyfriend again, she goes, it's a little peacock and chill. I went,
Enough. Please. Brittany's trying to secure that spot on season 3. She's like, well, if Jax ain't on the show, I'm going to really have to bring it up.
when you do the laugh, you have like a dead look in your eyes. And it's so funny.
It's the only way I can act.
It's like your face, you immediately go, do it again.
Should I try?
Yeah. Do it again. It's like
I have to reach down. I have to go bring her back.
it's like you
though.
lock eyes with me and you go, ah!
I go full Ollie.
You do. Let's take some shots. It's a little.
Oh, you know what this restaurant does, man? Shots.
It's vanilla shots.
She'll take shots any way she can get them. She just took shot of espresso.
Latte shots.
Latte shots.
Then Zach and Brittany kind of go at it a little.
Zach and Doute feel like Janet gets in the way of their friendships with Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Zach, I think probably alcoholism gets in the way of your friendship with Brittany because it seems like when you drink, you tell people to kill themselves. And that might be a problem.
Yeah. Also, some friendships just run their course.
I know. I was like, you're unfortunately coming to the crossroads where
College
it's
friends.
the end of the line, and your group might shift.
Yeah, I think, and it happens with like,
And get some gay friends.
it happens with queer people like who have straight friends who are like have kids. Some not always, but sometimes it just things are just so different. If you don't have kids and you're gay and your straight friend does,
Different priorities.
if you don't allow the friendship to evolve in a way that it should, and you want to keep it fighting in that way, it's not going to work.
So
Sorry.
true.
So true. She's like, come rest.
Come rest. No, you're my friend. Come rest.
Come rest.
Come rest on these bosoms.
Come on over here.
Come rest on my titties.
Titties. Come rest on my titties. She goes, come on in. Stick your head
She
in
goes,
there.
Doute, you too. There's
You
room
do.
enough for both of you.
Both
Come
of you.
rest.
And then Nia's just sitting there like this.
Nia goes, that's not very Christian.
She goes, wow, I'm going to go to church now.
I feel uncomfortable.
I feel very uncomfortable. And
I'm not doing anything.
I'm
They're
not
just
doing anything. They're just
resting.
resting in my pillows.
They're just resting. That's what they're there for. They're so big. She wants Nia to do some Jesus magic on Zack.
She goes, I need you to take the reins with Zach a little. I can't concentrate. I'm focusing on Jackson Cruz.
Can you do one of your Christian spells on him?
She goes, I don't know if I'm ready yet.
She goes, you can do it. Ask Jesus.
Okay, Jesus, make this gay man not gay.
She needs to do a Jesus magic on Doute too. Because
Yeah.
Doute has a moment where she goes, God, I just love seeing Brittany laughing again about a man. I just love it so much when Brittany's happy. I'm finally happy. And I was like,
I know you're in love with Brittany.
you are in love with Brittany.
What if Nia and her Christian sect
I believe
Rose
that she's doing like she's doing
did her-
dark Christian magic in Santa Clarita.
did like a reverse Rosemary's Baby where Kristen is now impregnated with like Christ?
That's what I'm saying.
like,
That's what
immaculate.
I've been saying. That's what I've said this entire time. That's what's happening.
It's happening.
This is Santa Clarita Christian magic, and we don't know what's around the corner.
I'm afraid.
I
Santa
think you
Clarita
should be.
Christian, loot me out.
They're so off the fucking radar that like no one has eyes on them. You
LA?
don't know unless you're there.
I'm like gonna cry.
Boots
LA
on the
is
ground.
truly terrifying.
No, this is terror. This is absolute.
She goes, oh, you're showing. Yay. She goes, this baby is going to bring so much joy and fruit to this world. And Kristen's like, what?
What'd you say?
She's like, I said he's going to bring so much happiness to us all.
Well, Kristen's lucky to have Luke because she's gonna need a militia when they come to the war of the Santa Clarita Christians versus the Luke's militia.
Star-crossed.
Zack will have no choice but to align himself with either side or start making friends with the gay and come up with a gay army.
I know. Zach, I like want to hang with Zach.
That'd be charitable. You should reach out to him.
No, actually, I don't want to.
Okay.
Did you see his pride post?
No.
He did spray painted abs, and he was at the parade, and he wrote, "Remember that pride started as a protest." I love it.
It's a lot.
No, I can't cross that line of like it's too much.
You will think that that's what you want, but then in reality,
No,
like your sobriety is too important for
it
that.
is.
It'll make you want to do drugs.
Danny and Nia go to lymphatic draining.
They do like a propaganda scene for like a visually arresting lymphatic drainage place. It was scary in there.
Danny's voice cuts down to my bone.
Me too.
It's Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
He is.
He's like,
He's Mr.
"Yeah."
Torrance.
He's like, I'm just so happy to be here right now, and I can't wait to go in there and get my lymph nodes drained.
It's painful, but it works.
It really works. It hurts a little, but it really works.
He's Family Annihilator.
And Nia goes, come on, let's go get drained.
She
And
goes,
they look in the mirror at one point, and he opens up his abs, and he goes, look at all that. That looks really good.
She goes, let's sit down for a second.
I wrote, they're lucky. These masseuses are lucky the cameras are rolling and Janet's in the room. Or sorry, I keep mixing them all up. And Nia's in the room because otherwise they could be a threat.
Wandering hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure like he'd get like an accidental boner.
He's like, ah, man, sorry about that.
Can't control it.
This is what
It has a mind of its own.
It's what God gave me, you know?
They talk about children and Nia, the way that I support women getting plastic surgery, obviously. But the way that she speaks about her body and her need to just have children so she can get it over with and get like a mommy makeover really darks me out.
It feels addict. No? Do you know what I mean? It's like preparing for it's like you're doing all these things, checking them off your list so you can get like the thing.
Yeah, there's something about it that really, because she is very beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just like her own body dysmorphia at the end of the day. I think most like efforts of vanity are have dysmorphic.
Danny goes, look at that. Look at what that says in the mirror. Repeat that after yourself. And she goes, I am smart, I am beautiful, and I am strong.
And I am perfect just as I am. And Danny goes, and I am perfect just as I am. And I was like,
You're not.
You're sick.
You're a sex pest and you're an alcoholic.
You're the sickest man in this zip code.
Yeah.
I'm perfect under arrest.
And I'm perfect too in God's image. Christ Almighty. Amen. Almighty Father.
So they do their weird lymphatic massage.
They look kind of nice.
What's painful about it? They're scrubbing?
They're like, they go in. Have you ever gotten lymphatic draining?
Mm-mm.
They like rub in. I got one with like.
Did they do like a salt scrub?
No, I got one like wearing like a suit thing.
Yeah.
And it's like they just roll. They
roll like a suction thing.
Yeah,
for you.
they're basically like wringing you out like a towel.
I like that, but I don't. Whatever they were doing to Danny's like pasty white thighs really repulsed me.
She goes, sweetie, you can make it softer on your body if you. He goes, no, I like the pain.
And then the thing ends, and she goes, how do you feel, my love? And he goes, I'm ready for my happy ending. And I was like, you're disgusting. I hate you so much. You hear like whispering in the background.
It's me and you going.
It's me. I mean,
you're disgusting.
You're disgusting.
Fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, both of you scare the shit out of us.
I don't want to be in your
Run away to Santa Clarita and do your dark magic there. We don't want you in our city anymore. Get out of here, you pig.
We're like in the curtains.
Mm-hmm.
There were curtains everywhere.
It's really, I will never go to that place.
Jax calls Jason.
Janet and Jason's kid is really cute.
Cameron, so cute.
So Jasmine's now doing like a sad story. Like she's just bereft. She's doing some ball pit acting.
They're both drinking white wine.
They're both drinking white wine to
slept.
drum up some tears.
They're both very dramatic people.
They are. And I didn't realize Jason is such like a crier and an empath, but Janet really gets him going. And then they both are just crying all the time. Janet's sitting, she goes, it's just sad because I haven't stopped crying and he can tell. He knows about her son.
I was like, he's like 5 months old.
Don't drag him into this.
Yeah, leave him be.
He goes, now why am I in it?
He's like, I'm just trying to play in this cute.
I'm trying to suck tit.
I'm trying to play in this little bathtub ball pit, which looked kind of cool.
Yeah, it's fine. And then they do like family unit, like hug our child and cry about Jasmine, the mean lesbian.
And then fucking Jax FaceTimes Jason.
Yeah, if things weren't bad enough, Jax is repeatedly FaceTiming Jason. He's called him 5 times from Starbucks.
From fake rehab.
He's in a Gelson's bathroom
He
now.
is. I'm like, I know like it's like you don't want to show who's there, but like show us your room. I want proof. I want proof that he went. And he goes, hey guy, like he's doing that. He's putting on this act of being healed and going through so much, tumult there, but also coming out the other side is like knowing what I need to do as a man.
He's still lying.
He's lying. We'll see. bullshitting.
He goes, yeah, it was really bad of me to do what I did. And, you know, I pushed Brittany away. Like, I really did put her through so much. And, you know, it's like, it was awful that she hooked up with my best friend in the whole world. I was like,
friend in the whole world,
you're
my whole
still
life.
beating this fucking drum. He wasn't your best friend. So that's a lie.
Shut up.
And then he's like, yeah, just if only she had just checked me years ago and like left me years ago. It's her fault.
Yeah.
I was like, you still haven't taken responsibility, but Jason's also too stupid to like really call you out because he also is probably afraid of you.
Well, he goes, you know, I think one act that you can take is like getting up to date on your mortgage.
And Jax goes, yeah, I do have a plan for that. So like, I don't have the funds to pay her, but like our podcast, we have a very successful podcast. We make a lot of money. And so Britt will just get to keep all the podcast money like until
Selfless.
I was like,
so selfless.
so she can get paid for a job that she does.
Yeah.
Like it's not like she's just getting paid back. She would work to get that money.
He goes, and he's doing it like, look at me, I'm giving up like and he goes, you know, Brittany and I have a very successful podcast. I was like, who are you talking to?
We make a lot of money.
You're in a restroom.
A lot of money.
You're in a restroom. You're at Ralph's.
Sir?
You're at a CVS restroom right now.
You're in a DSW warehouse restroom right now. Why are you talking? You're here talking about your podcast? Like, it's like, Brittany, had she just been doing the podcast the entire time you're at rehab? I love being like, she can do the job and get paid for a job she does.
Also,
and that'll call it even.
If I was like a rehab tech, I'd be like, get off your phone. Like, what are you doing? I'd be like, stop calling. Like, you could be calling a drug dealer.
If I was your counselor, I'd be like, let's see your screen time today.
It's like,
and I'd be like, what? You have 10 hours of screen time a day? And so that, I believe you've just replaced one addiction with another. Let's talk about it.
And then, so we get to their actual house, not the rental. And Brittany's there with Sherry and Cruz. And Brittany looks like Mortal Kombat in these braids. She's full.
Wait, I didn't see this scene.
Oh. I watched on Peacock.
Tell me more about this scene.
Brittany is like in their
She's
house.
back with Sherry?
Yeah, they're at their house. And she's like, I need to find a ladder. Because Jax's cameras are still everywhere. And she goes, I'm going to do what he did to me. I'll do it right back. So she gets Sherry. She goes, Mama, come help me. She goes, all right. And Miss Sleighbells comes out and walks up to her, gives her a little stool. Goes, dun, 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 dun. And she tapes over all the cameras. She goes, two can play at this game. And then she calls... Well, first she goes, Mom, come help me. And Sherry goes, well, hang on just a second. And then after they tape up the cameras, she calls Jax's sister.
Wait, I must have just stopped the episode early.
No, it's fine.
Because I was watching on Sling and then it's like a lot of fast forwarding and stuff. So I just was like, and I watched it twice and stopped it at both times. And
I got you.
I said, I've had about enough.
I got you, girl. So she calls Jenny, Jax's sister, because she wants to see Cruz. And then Jenny, you can tell, is like kind of on Brittany's side.
Yeah.
And they start talking about like Brittany being like, you know, I just don't believe Jax. Like he's still like being mean to me over text. And then Jax texts her and goes, really great to hear everything you're saying right now. Childish. And Brittany goes, what? She goes, is there a bug in here? I think he has the house bug. So he's listening. And then his sister goes, oh, Jax is calling me right now. And he texted a producer. Yeah.
No.
And was like, so he's listening. So he could hear. So this man,
you're
is why
in
I'm like,
you're in Gelson's.
You're in Gelson's on your Bluetooth. You're not at rehab. If you're at rehab, you don't have the time to listen to your eavesdrop on your wife and sister.
He's in the cereal aisle.
I'm literally freaking out. Like Brittany, she was kind of like, I can't tell if she was just trying to be like, for the camera, but she was like, God, he's so creepy. I'm like, I'll say.
That's stalker behavior.
That's absolute stalker. You should get a restraining order. Did she have one on him?
She's threatening. But I still think that she is in love with him because I don't think you say this stuff about going out with other guys on camera if you're not trying to like hurt a person. And that's the only like power card that she has to play right now.
But it
Like,
was
he doesn't care about their house. He doesn't care about their credit. He doesn't care about his son. He doesn't care about her. He doesn't care about his fam. Like, he cares about nothing except like
pride.
Yeah, it's
Sexual
only
pride.
like sexual pride.
No, but she like it was like clockwork that he like checked in with her. And then to see what he said to her in that moment of being like coming for her and then having just done this like tearful check-in with Jason, I'm like, you are so full of shit and you need to be paddy wagoned.
It's time
To get out of Gelson's and go to actual rehab.
someone needs to hunt him in Gelson's. They need to hunt him down like a escaped animal from the zoo, fire a dart into his neck, tranquilize him, throw a net over him, and drag him off to the insane asylum.
True.
Actually, just jail. I'm sure you could find some sort of substances in his car.
You know, like a helicopter will like evacuate a cow. Mm-hmm. We need to do that with Jack.
You need to do that just around his waist.
But I'm like,
He's a public health risk.
but I'm like either that or he has like an earpiece in his ear and he's like listening at all times during like group therapy at rehab. I'm like, how
You
the
can
fuck
have
does this
the
bitch have the
Cameras
time?
linked to an app on your phone.
I know, but that's why I'm like, take his phone away. This man cannot like
If it's not one thing, it's another.
but this sister being like, Jax is, and I'm like, oh God, she's afraid of Jax too.
He doesn't talk to his mom.
No.
That's kind of a red flag.
Yeah. Well, depending on what the mom, but I think the mom just like wanted to like, whatever. I think she was trying to protect him from like,
I think Brittany's life is in danger.
I don't think she's in love with him anymore. That she's just like, how did I truly, I mean, I know how I did, but like truly, how did I let this happen to my life?
That's a great question.
And I don't even think she's I think she's actually like repulsed by him, which is great. He's in love with her, I think. But a love that's not.
I don't think he knows what love is.
No, but in whatever capacity it is, it's an obsession and it's like he owns her in his head. That's the kind of love he has, but I think he's fixated on her. I think she's like, I'm just truly at a loss that this man is this bad. Which we're all like, girl,
honey,
we've been waiting for you for a decade to get
for
here.
a literal decade.
Yeah, it's sad. But that
crazy.
That I got chills when he texted her that he was listening to their combo.
He's a scary person.
He's really scary.
Maybe he needs to go back on coke. Just to get away from them.
Maybe. He just needs to move to like Michigan again.
He should go.
No, he can't move to Michigan because when I plan to go there during the climate apocalypse.
Yeah, you don't want him in like the climate safe zones.
No.
He should go to Florida.
Yeah. Well, very safe
He
there.
should go
Jax.
back to Tampa.
It's very safe in Florida, Jax. You should go there.
The hockey team should like reach out to him again and offer him that
job.
social media job.
The dream job.
They're like, it's in the middle of the ocean, actually, in the Gulf of Mexico. So you're gonna have to. Gulf of America. You're gonna have to just paddle out about a mile into the Gulf.
He should be forced to work on an oil rig in the middle of the Gulf. Just far away
I
from
don't trust
land.
him at that because I think that there will be an explosion
True.
then the environmental damage. I mean, there's really no safe space for him except a maximum security prison. I don't root for prison for anyone, but for him, he needs to be in like the prison from Face Off.
Oh my God.
Where they like wear the magnetic boots and they can get locked the fuck in on the ground at any time.
It's really scary.
It's scary.
Prayers for Britt. But happy that she's writing some.
Prayers for Britt, but also like do another season.
Please.
Milk it for all it's worth.
Girl.
Both of you.
You both need it. Mm-hmm. Let's give a shout out to our culties.
Let's do it.
Kara England.
Sexy Unique Gay Dolls.
Rosengarten.
Ash Kelly.
One of the dolls.
Teddy the Schnauzer and Tony Bangles Cole.
Alex Delisle. Shout out to
Obviously.
Alex. Obviously.
Emily Bond.
Gina Sapienza.
Sarah Elizabeth from Boston.
Lucy from London.
Brooke Johansson.
William Farrell.
Brittany Rendon Wise.
Danielle from the Broom.
Mazdov Laws.
Mary.
Kate Solon.
Mike Earhart.
Diego and Darian. DC Tom Ford couple.
Matthew Thomas.
Owsley Robinson.
Kathy West.
Kit Moore.
Orlando.
patron of the farts,
Nick Sedaris.
Mr. Brandon,
Emily.
Kim Lucas,
Drone.
Drew from Toronto,
Katie the sub-lawyer.
RJ,
Modern Counseling, McLean, Virginia.
Jeffrey
Pratama.
Guys, things are happening on the Patreon right now that are absolutely unbelievable.
Our first recap of Just Like That is out now. Our new one is coming this week.
We have a new episode replacing That's So Random with a brand new series. The rumors are true. We're recapping NYC Next
Generation.
And it's only on video, sorry dolls. And you can get that video on Patreon at the $10 monthly tier.
It'll be worth it to watch us talk about Brooks and
I
Gia
think you're gonna like what you see.
and that ghoulish crypto bro.
Mm-hmm. So
this is a little clip of last week's recap of And Just Like That.
it begins with her writing just a heart on a postcard. And I said, girl, you've lost the plot.
She has Zodiac handwriting. She has vintage postcards, which is so Carey. She sends them to Virginia.
And everyone in her life is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Aiden sends her blank postcards
That's
from
crazy.
Virginia. Thank God Miranda was like, that's...
Everyone's like, you're a freak for that. Because
Charlotte went,
Aiden,
"Aw."
literally, the last time they saw each other, he was like, we can't be together for the next 5 years.
Because my son is like...
Because my son is literally going to go
Emotionally-
Brady on everyone's ass in Virginia. He's like, my son demands that we sleep in the same bed, so you and I can't be together for 5 years.
Get out of here.
I'm sorry, I'm going to say this about Aiden. He's sick and disgusting.
He's a pig. Carey needs to be set free.
Carey is lying in bed asleep with a full face on.
I know.
She's got a smoky eye on
Well, she
in the
runs.
dead of night.
She runs through the house in socks. It slips and falls, and I was like, "There goes the other hip." I was like, "Oh my God, she's gonna be like laid up again."
No, she's going to like lose all mobility if she doesn't watch it.
And Miranda comes over, and she's like, "Ah, Miranda." She sounds like Steve now.
She's gone a little bit Steve.
Never mind.
They have like a cute back and forth.
Really?
And Miranda's like, I fucked a nun. And Carey makes like 17 nun puns.
You know why? You know why Carrie's not? It's like, who is this woman? Because she heard the retroactive analysis of Carrie being a narcissist, where now Carrie is
She's
the
trying to
least-
be caring.
She's the least narcissistic person in all the world, and she's like so selfless, never talks about herself, always is like there for her friends. That's what it is.
That is what it is.
It's like, where's my girl?
where's my selfish brat?
Where's the original brat? Like, where is she? Who is still a good friend somehow? She doesn't need,
She's a good friend because she's there. And you know what? It's like White Lotus, where it's like, it doesn't matter if we hate each other. We're still hanging out after all these years.
I like-
and that's the most important thing.
I like my seat at the table.
And if you enjoyed us talking about the first 2 seasons, come on over to patreon.com/sexyuniquepodcast and sign up to get weekly episodes of They Did That. Bye. Sexy Unique Podcast is created and hosted by me, Lara Marie Shanehalls, and co-hosted by the inimitable Carey O'Donnell. This episode is produced by Sierra Pavia. The audio and video versions are edited by Morgan McDonald. Production and post-production services provided by Bad Ladder. Additional production assistance provided by Jen Shad.